Caleb starts off this hour in Oregon. Hi, Caleb. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thanks, Dave. 510. Oh, sorry. My question for you is: last Thursday, somebody broke into our garage and stole a bunch of stuff, and it turns out that it was the previous tenant, and the complex didn't switch the locks. My question is, if this happened to you, or what kind of response do you think the complex should have for this? I mean, we lost thousands of dollars and stuff. Some has been recovered, but is in police evidence, and we can't get it back. Others, like our late grandfather's tools, have not been recovered.
Wow. And how do you know that the locks were not, that this guy used a key?
So it's the maintenance man's adult son that did it, and they used to lease the tent or the garage, and the manager told me they didn't switch the locks.
Manager told you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And did you have insurance?
We do have renter's insurance, but I don't know how it works because the stuff has been recovered, but the police is saying it could take, till the case is settled before we can get anything back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you need to talk to your insurance company about filing a claim for sure. Well, I think I would sit down with the apartment manager and ask them how much of this they were planning to cover, since this is their fault.
And, we bought like $300 in security cameras since then, and our deductible is $500 on the renter's insurance. So for sure, it'll be $800 out of our pocket.
Yeah, but I think they ought to start writing some checks. This is just straight up negligence on their part. I think if you were to contact an attorney, the attorney would probably tell you have an incredible case for a bunch of recovery and probably some punitive. That's just absurd.
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating. The last thing my pregnant wife needs to stress over is some scumbag coming into our place and taking stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So are the locks are changed now, right?
Oh yeah, they're changed now.
Okay.
And that took a little bit. We actually caught the guy on camera stealing packages from someone else the next night. So it's been a lot of fun.
Right. So he's obviously in custody, I assume.
They haven't got him yet. He's been missing in action.
Oh, okay. They'll get him because he's dumber than a rock. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you sit down with the apartment manager and or their superior and just say, look, I don't really want to sit down with an attorney, but if you guys don't start getting really generous over this really fast, I'm going to have to see what my legal rights are, because this is absolutely asinine. You are so liable that you really ought to be just writing me checks to keep me happy right now.
Okay.
And you don't have to be a butt about it, but if I were on the other side of that, if I were the landlord, I would have already made you an offer because this is their fault. They screwed this up. Okay. Number one, we got a maintenance man with a son who's a criminal, and we didn't change the locks, and he's a criminal has the key. Now these are known things. They know this kid. They know that the scum kid had a key, and they're so stinking lazy that they didn't bother to change the locks. That's just incompetence. Now, you can be nicer than that, but that's where this stands. So, yeah, I think the first thing I'd always do is always confront the person that you're dealing with, and just say, listen, let's try to work this out because you're just obviously very liable. As you can imagine, we are really, really, really angry about this. But on top of that, we're out a bunch of money, and it's all your fault. And so you guys need to make us whole right here. And so I'm expecting you to cut me a check today for $5,000 to cover my trouble and my stuff that's gone. And if you guys don't want to begin a discussion about that right now, then that's going to force me to seek legal counsel, and I don't really want to do that. But I'm very angry. This is ridiculous, and I'm not going to yell at you or cuss at you. You're just the manager. But this is not okay, and it's not going to go away without costing you some money because you're liable on this. And then just see what they say.
All right, that's what I figured you'd say. But
if they offer you a couple grand, take it and move on and go on your way, because that's probably about all you're going to get after you fight about this. But I would, if I were the landlord, I wouldn't give you 10 grand, okay? But I would take care of your stuff that got stolen, and I'd make sure that, that the locks are changed and the cameras are done, because it's my fault, you know? And sometimes we do stuff that's our fault. We don't mean for it to be, but some people that work for us aren't competent sometimes. It's just your fault when that happens, and you have to take care of it. So yeah, I would be pretty aggressive about it. I'm not going to be mean to somebody, not yelling and cussing and stomping my foot, and don't even have to be unkind, but you do need to be very, very, very direct. And if they don't react to that and they say, no, we're not liable, I'll say, well, I guess we'll have to find out. And I would contact an attorney for some legal advice at that point.